Thank you, Mr President. I seek leave to make a brief explanation before addressing a question without notice to the Minister for Health and Wellbeing on the topic of the COVID-19 vaccine rollout for those experiencing homelessness.
Is leave granted? Leave is granted. The Honourable Mr Simms.
Thank you, Mr President. Back in July, the government announced its trial COVID-19 vaccination clinic for South Australians experiencing homelessness in the city as part of its outreach program. Given South Australia's borders are set to open next Tuesday and there are an estimated 6,000 people in South Australia currently experiencing homelessness, it's critical that the vaccine rollout continues to prioritise some of our most vulnerable. My question to the Minister, therefore, is the government confident that the 80% vaccination target to trigger the reopening of our borders will be met with those experiencing homelessness?
The Minister for Health and Wellbeing.
To address the honourable member's question, in starting my answer to the honourable member's question, there is difficulties in terms of assessing the level of vaccine take-up amongst the homeless community. One of the factors there is that people experiencing mental health issues, domestic violence, homelessness, or a combination of these issues are not required to self-identify for the purpose of recording their vaccination status on the Australian Immunisation Record. This is for their safety and well-being, but it does mean that it's very difficult to determine how many people experiencing homelessness have been vaccinated. The government is continuing to roll out a targeted campaign to deal with vulnerable groups such as people experiencing homelessness. In the context of homelessness, we're working in particular with key stakeholders like the alliances and the larger providers of homeless services to provide access to the vaccines. SA Health, the ambulance service and the sector are partnering to deliver a tailored approach to the vaccination of people experiencing homelessness. I was privileged to launch the rollout for people sleeping rough in July this year at Westcare, a launch that attracted national interest. Since then, the rollout has continued across the metropolitan area, with vaccination sites being used including Shine, mental health facilities in the parklands, mobile services targeting vulnerable groups have been active in the suburbs of Playford, Gawler and Onkaparinga and in the regions. The Central Adelaide Local Health Network is providing vaccines to people who attend the Hutt Street Centre, with additional vaccination services provided to a range of organisations working with the homeless community, including the Salvation Army Homeless Service, the Western Homeless Service, Strength Link, Uniting Care Gawler, Fred's Van and St Vincent de Paul Society. Vaccinations have also been provided in clinics for people experiencing domestic and family violence. The government is continuing our efforts to ensure the vaccine is widely available and that all vulnerable cohorts are a priority. More than 2.4 million doses of the vaccine have been delivered. I want to thank all South Australians who have rolled up their sleeve to be vaccinated and encourage those who haven't to present at one of our clinics or engage with a GP or pharmacy. The vaccine is our pathway out of the pandemic, and it's never been easier to be vaccinated.
The Honourable Mr Simms is a supplementary.
Thank you, Mr President. Noting the Minister's reply, can the Minister explain how close to the 80% vaccination target for people who are homeless the government is, and can he provide specific information on what process is in place to ensure booster shots are being made available to those who are homeless?
The Minister for Health and Wellbeing.
In regards to the second question, booster shots, it's certainly our anticipation that we'll continue to partner both within SA Health and with our partners, continue to deliver vaccines into next year, including booster shots. The booster shots are particularly recommended for vulnerable communities, so it will be a particular focus with vulnerable communities. In terms of the, I don't have specific data in relation to the percentage of homeless people who are thought to have been vaccinated. but I'll see what information I can obtain for the honourable member.